Nobody's going to solve anything. This is here for us to learn, what do other people think? What do other people see?
Now, I want to be very clear up front. Not every Republican, not even the majority of Republicans are MAGA Republicans.
And I disagree with that. Like, at this point, I disagree with that. That sounds like cope to be like, oh, well, I mean, you know, it's just the bad ones. But again, the second most votes in the history of America. And again, I totally chalk that up to the mail-in ballots. But no?
I really don't think so. I mean, if you look at, for example, the speaker vote, right, there were a total of, about 8 different Republicans that voted against the majority in order to remove McCarthy as the House Speaker, who I would generally describe as sort of like an average Republican, right? I don't think that people Steven Crowder or Jim Jordan or Matt Gaetz or Marjorie Taylor Greene or Lauren Boebert or Trump.
I like those guys.
I love those guys.
Like, I feel like they are very distinctly in their own category, and they describe themselves.
Well, wait, are you saying McCarthy's in that category, or he's outside of that category?
No, I'm saying that McCarthy is outside of that.
Okay.
It's named.
Sure.
And the people that I would describe as MAGA Republicans also kind of label that other group, right? They are the rhinos, right? The Republicans of old who don't deserve to
fuck the GOP. Absolutely, yes, definitely.
And I feel like, you know, we can talk about this new group of Republicans who does have like a significant, you know, amount of support, and are, I think, very fairly quite conspiratorial in how they think of you know, the powers of the government.
Fair enough. And again, that's all I'm trying to do. We're not trying to, nobody's going to solve anything. This is here for us to learn, what do other people think? What do other people see?
That's not what I saw.
So I think that's fair. If you again, and you know, I smirked at the word conspiratorial, because I feel like at this point, that's just a psyop, that everything that they don't want you to be true, they call it a conspiracy, which is legitimately how it started. But I understand that, you know, like flat earth is a conspiracy, but you know, that same type of thing.
Like, whenever I say conspiratorial, I speak specifically about certain grandiose ideas about how the government or like the deep state are operating, right? That would require a huge secretive conspiracy to you know, co-opt. Things like stealing the election, right, is something that by its nature would have to be conspiratorial, right?
Yes, but and again, I mean, the point is that clearly there is there's not that perception that, okay, that seems, as somebody who has never voted for Trump, I hear that and I feel targeted. And so, right, wrong, or indifferent, that was the point that I was trying to make. And I do agree with the fact that there's, you know, you know, by the letter of the law, there was no stolen election and all that. But again, we're talking about perception. And in politics, most people aren't, you know, the whole reason we're doing this is because most people probably haven't even watched either of these speeches in their entirety. Bill says insurgent groups in the GOP are capable of taking power. The Tea Party also removed a GOP speaker. The DNC is much more effective tamping down challenges within their party. Yeah, I guess that's what I was going to say, is that, you know, even though like there's the MAGA America First versus the GOP Rhino, that is more of an internal internal divide, where like you might argue with your little sister, but y'all go out the house and somebody you know, is yelling at your, like, that's still your sister.
That is my little sister.
So I like, yes, I agree with the fact that there is a division within the Republican Party, but when I think anybody who is in the conservative umbrella, I think when we hear specifically Joe Biden say MAGA Republicans, even though he follows it up by saying not even all of them, not even the majority of them, that seems like, well, I do mean all of them, but I just want to say that it's not all of them. So I have the what's the word, the plausible deniability. No.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that, you know, that's kind of by design. It feels like a lot of times any attack against Trump, he tries to twist as an attack against the people that voted for him, Like that's a really pretty regular rhetorical technique that he uses. Right, he does the same with the legal challenges he has. He says they're not coming after me; they're trying to get to you for something. You know?
Okay, fair point. Fair point. Fair point. So if Trump is going to make it about us, then Biden can make it about us too. Fair enough. Again, I do not see it that way, but that at least has some level of logic. So I said it isn't so secretive as far as an idea of the deep state goes, especially if you relate it to the World Economic Forum, etc. And I think it will. I would not be assuming too much to say most of us do. Yeah. Bill says the deep state is generally just the permanent state, the unelected officials on various lettered agencies. No overt conspiracy has to happen for interests to intersect when a POTUS is against you. And that's kind of what I was gonna say is that, again, we would have to talk about what type of conspiracy. And you brought up the election. Yes, I do think there would have to be a lot more actual conspiracy, but because of the way that everything in these agencies is disconnected from each other, you can have a few bad actors and nobody else in the FBI, nobody else in the CIA knows that you're, fucking shit up. So, it's just not that simple. I think with the election, fair enough. Culture Pops says talking like this is good. Agree or disagree. Good to be having a discussion with differing viewpoints. I'm yelling at my phone a lot though. We're trying to piss you off. We are trying to piss you off. Let's get this from Bill and dive back in. He said, when a president is saying he is going to restrict the various lettered agencies, they all have a shared interest in opposing him, whether they work together or not. I mean, yeah, I think that's a pretty fair statement. Like, if anybody's trying to get rid of your job, I don't think that it's that surprising that you don't like it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed that clip, check out the full live stream link in the bio and catch me live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. See you there.